Have you ever met someone and instantly thought, whoa, we're not wired the same? What if I told you there are only 4 core temperaments secretly shaping how we think, feel, and interact with the world? And once you see them, you can't unsee them. Stick around. And by the end of this video, you'll understand people in a way you never have before. Maybe even yourself. Welcome to Psychology Nerdware. We dig deep into the mind without making it boring. Today, we're cracking open the MBTI temperament families, also known as the Keirsey temperaments. Think of them like the 4 houses of personality. But instead of Hogwarts, it's real-life psychology. They group the 16 MBTI types into 4 families that explain how we learn, love, lead, and even break down under pressure. And trust me, knowing these can change how you see people forever. But before we dive in, have you ever wondered why you clash with certain people, but instantly vibe with others? Why some thrive in chaos, while others crave structure? Let's find out. First up, the Guardians. These are your SJs types like ISTJ, ISFJ, ESTJ, and ESFJ. They're the backbone of families, traditions, and institutions. Guardians don't just follow the rules, they often become the rules. Imagine the steady nurse, the reliable coach, or the manager who triple-checks everything. They find peace in predictability and purpose in duty. But here's the twist. What happens when the world changes faster than their systems can adapt? Can structure become a prison? We'll come back to that. Now let's swing to the Artisans, the SPs, ISTP, ISFP, ESTP, ESFP. If the Guardians are the bricks, Artisans are the fire. Bold, spontaneous, living in the now. These are the risk-takers, the creators, the ones who feel their way through life. Think of the stunt driver, the street artist, or the friend who always has a wild story. They don't follow maps, they make their own. But here's the tension. What happens when life slows down? When things get quiet? Can freedom become restlessness? We'll circle back. Next, meet the Idealist, the NFP, INFP, INFJ, ENFP, ENFJ. Sensitive souls with big dreams. They're driven by meaning, connection, and possibility. They're the ones writing poetry at 2 a.m. or having life-changing conversations over coffee. Empathy, off the charts. Authenticity, non-negotiable. But here's something you may not expect. Idealists can get lost in the very dreams that give them life. What do you think happens when the world doesn't meet their ideals? Let me know in the comments. Have you ever felt too deep for surface-level living? We'll explore that more in a bit. And finally, we enter the mind of the Rationals, the NTS, NTP, ENTP, ENTP, ENTJ, strategists, visionaries, the ones building the systems that run the world quietly or loudly. They see the patterns no one else sees, ask questions others are afraid to ask. Why is their favorite word done? Because that S, how it S done, is their least favorite answer. But here's the curveball. When the heart speaks, do they always listen? Can intellect disconnect them from the emotional world they still crave? Stick around because we're about to tie all this together. So 4 families. 4 ways of being. Guardians protect the system. Artisans bend it. Idealists heal it. Rationals rebuild it. Each one plays a role. Each one has strengths and shadows. But here's where it gets real. No temperament is better. They're just different lenses. And conflict often happens when we assume everyone sees through ours. Ever tried explaining feelings to a rationale or structure to an artisan? It's not that they don't care, it's that they don't speak the same psychological language. What would happen if we stopped judging and started translating? Next time someone frustrates you, ask yourself not what's wrong with them, but which temperament might they be operating from. That shift alone can change your relationships, your job, and your inner peace. Want to go deeper? Drop your MBTI type in the comments and tell me which temperament you resonate with most. Better yet, send this to a friend who just does intrigue at you and start a whole new kind of conversation. And if you're still wondering which family you belong to, rewatch the part that hit a little too hard. That's usually the one, because in the end, understanding people isn't about putting them in boxes. It's about learning which pattern of chaos they bring to the table. And when you finally see it, everything starts to make sense.